This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hello, my name is Charlie, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the best interviews every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the cutest, most ditziest little firecracker in professional wrestling, Charlie Kruel.
Hello.
How are you, Charlie?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Could you tell us what you have coming up?
So I'm just going to tell you what I have coming up. This month and next, I have my second wrestling debut on the 27th, and then I have Fright Night on the 29th, which is going to be in New Albany, Indiana. It's Mouse's promotion, or not promotion, well, show. He doesn't really have a promotion, but it's like his show and stuff. I'm going to be wrestling Trey Lamar, and at second wrestling, I'm wrestling Blair Onyx. And then, of course, on the 18th, November 18th, is my very own birthday show, which is going to be phenomenal, and I'm super excited for it.
And you're wrestling Raylan, I believe, right?
I am wrestling Raylan, yes.
All right, well, we'll get into that in a moment. And obviously, where can we find you on social media and your merchandise?
At the moment, I don't have a merchandise stand. I need to get one, but on social media, everything is under Charlie Kruel, or her name's Charlie, as Twitter and Instagram, and YouTube. You can just look up Charlie Kruel and it'll pop up.
Alright, and you don't even have to look for it. We'll put all of the links in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox.
Okay.
Alright, now you mentioned it, the Birds of Prey, the fabulous birthday celebration of Charlie Kruel. How did that come about, and what does that kind of mean to you to have your birthday be this major event now?
So I've always wanted to do a show, kind of around like something that I book. It's mainly my friends against my friends, beating up my friends. It's like, it's going to be something entertaining for like fans to see as well. I feel like it's going to be really good. Months ago, I don't know exactly when, but I was like, I really want to, they just like dinged in my head, like I want to do this. So I messaged my colleagues at PWK, and I just started talking to them about it and what I kind of want. They came up with the Birds of Prey thing. They know I'm a Harley Quinn fan and a DC fan, along with Marvel. So like they kind of just put that together. I thought it was really cool. First one I booked on the show, obviously besides myself, was Alice Crowley. So Alice is going to be in the number one contenders match for my PWK women's title with 3 other women. But it's going to be super exciting. So,
you know, it'd be a sad situation if you couldn't get booked on your own birthday party show.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. I booked myself and Hardcore Charles. So, yeah, it's going to be crazy. I'm excited.
And I mean, you're wrestling Raylan, you know, obviously a big name on the independents. I believe she's on WoW now. So, how do you feel about, you know, going in there with, you know, a big name like that?
I'm just mainly like very excited. I'm excited. I'm gonna I wanted to bring the best out of me. Definitely. I feel like it's gonna be a really good match. We wrestled one time in 2018. I was a few months in, and she was the first one that actually gave me my first match that I thought was actually good. Because like when you're new and you're like super young in the business and you're like a few months in or whatever, you don't really have many good memorable matches because you're so new that like unless somebody like Ray Lynn did like control you the whole match, it's just you don't really have many good matches. But she gave me my first ever good match in 2018, and it was my favorite match in 2018 actually. And now it's kind of like full circle, so I'm super excited for it.
What do you want to show Ray Lynn this time around that you didn't get to show her last time?
Well, I definitely have improved since 2018. So just more ideas to do. Of course, it's going to be for my women's title, so I definitely have to come in like more aggressive because I don't want to lose that title.
Yes.
So it's just like it's going to be really good.
All right. Now you've done a match that you don't see very often on the Independents. You was in a casket match against Mother Endless. Can you tell us about that match?
That match happened 2020. This was literally right after like when shows started coming back because of the pandemic. I got flown to New Jersey, and it was my first time ever meeting and wrestling Mother Endless. Super sweet girl. I thought we had a good match and stuff. The only issue wasn't really like kind of an issue, but I ended up getting concussed extremely bad to where they had to airline me to the hospital from the arena, so I don't really like remember much of the show.
Okay.
Because it kind of like when you get concussed, it's just like you kind of just your memory is kind of blurry of things,
Yes.
of what happened. So
No, I absolutely get that.
yeah.
Alright. Now you mentioned her, Hardcore Charles, who is essentially your version of your Cactus Jack. Will there be a third face of Charlie?
Like a dark face of Charlie?
Well, I mean, you're adored. The adored face.
My adored face.
Number 3, like the 3 faces of Foley, the 3 faces of Charlie.
Oh yeah, you think I'm gonna have will there ever be a third Charlie? I don't know. Like Hardcore Charles eventually it was a joke at first. Because I was like, I want to do some hardcore, so that'd be cool. So that somebody just started calling me Hardcore Charles, and I was like, that's that clicks pretty well. So I took it and I ran with it. It's like Charlie Kruel doesn't do the hardcore violent stuff as in Hardcore Charles does. Maybe Charlie could come out with a prissy, preppy version of her. But at the moment, I think Charlie Kruel and Hardcore Charles is enough for me to deal with. So.
Okay, fair enough. Can you tell us about your relationship with Mickie Knuckles?
Yeah. She's like my mom in the business. First time I've ever seen her, I didn't even really meet her. I was at a show at the arena in Jeffersonville. I haven't even started training, so I was like below being new, you know. I wasn't even training at the time. I remember Leo Rush was on that show. Tracy Smothers was on the show. Leva Bates was on the show. Other people was on that show. And she had this like face paint on or whatever. And I wasn't sure because like what I told people is that like when I first started watching wrestling, I didn't know anything about independent wrestling. I didn't even know it existed. I only was surrounded by WWE and NXT and like only that. Like that was it. And now we have like AEW and stuff, but like I didn't know independent wrestling. I didn't really like I knew what TNA and Impact was. I didn't watch it when I was younger. I only watched WWE every Monday. At the time, I think it was Fridays. Every Monday, I don't know. They changed it so much, but every Raw, every SmackDown, every pay-per-view, everything they had, like I would always watch it. Whenever I couldn't, I would record it and watch it the next day. But at the time, like I didn't know who Mickie Knuckles was. Just like I didn't know who Tracy Smothers was at the time. I didn't know who Leo Rush was at the time. That was like, I was super new to introducing myself to independent wrestling. I wasn't familiar with any of it. So when I started training, during the pandemic in 2020, she started training me and Billy Starks. And we were the only two trainees to do that with her. So she trained me a little bit. I always called her like my wrestling mom. She definitely brings out the best in me. She's been through a lot, you know, not just in the business, but literally like in life. And she's so strong, and I mean, I look up to her in so many ways. Like she gives, like we just had a recent match. It was a Hardcore Charles versus her, and it was at a PWK in South Bend, Indiana. So, and I thought it was super good. She's like the second person to ever make me bleed in a match. So I've had my death match with Aiden Blackheart in 2020. 2020 was a crazy year.
For more than one reason.
Yeah. And I showed up and I didn't even realize it was going to be a death match. And they're like, you're having a death match. And I was like, crazy. But anyways, I went with it and it was really good. My boyfriend at the time, Akira, he helped me get ready for that because he's been in more death matches than I ever have. So he had more experience with it. So he was just like, you know, boosting me up and giving me some advice and stuff. So I really appreciated that. I don't remember if Mickie was there or not. I don't know. I'm going to say she wasn't there, but she heard about it. So second time I bled was at a girl fight show it was me against her in West Virginia. And she put her axe like to my head. She was kind of late running to the show because she went from one show to another. Okay. So she was kind of late running to the show. We were literally first match because she had to leave like right away because I think she had another show to go to. But she told me, I was like, Mickie, I really want you to make me bleed, you know, whatever. And she's like, well, I don't have enough time to make a gig. The only thing I can do is hard way you with this axe. And I was like, yes. I was like, that's perfectly fine. I'm cool with that. And then recently, of course, I was like, the place was like, we really don't want you bleeding everywhere, but we're cool with a little blood. So I didn't bleed till the very end. Like, what happened was she threw her axe at me, like off with your head kind of way. I ducked. She looked at me. I kind of Eddie Guerrero'd it, and I bumped, and the ref made a disqualification because it made me look like she hit me when she didn't. And then afterwards, she grabbed me and made me bleed and stuff. So, and then I just like limped to the back. But yeah, I have everything, like nothing bad to say about her. I love her. So.
Well, could you tell us about that one time you no-sold for Mickie Knuckles?
Oh my God. You're going to ask me about that? So, before everybody listens to this and be like, oh my God, she no-sold for Mickie. She no-sells. She's this, that. Listen. So, that match at Anna, in Illinois, I think? I don't know. I think it was in Illinois. This was before Hardcore Charles was even around. And this was my first ever real hardcore style match. Like weapons, there were so many weapons, I couldn't even keep up. And my character at the time, my character now, Charlie Kruel, she's just very happy-go-lucky, wants to be everyone's friend, yada, yada, yada. And I think I went in there kind of not, like, registering, like, to sell. Because, like, I wrestled a girl last night who's super green, so I didn't think anything of it. Like, you're super new, like, I did this when I was just, like, super new in the business. Like, she was no-selling me, without even realizing she was doing it.
Okay.
And so, of course, I gave her advice, and I told her exactly what I've been told, was selling is the most important thing a babyface can do, besides, getting fire and getting the people behind you. At the time, like, I think Mickie was a baby, but she was more of the aggressive one. I was a super baby, too. So, I wasn't meaning to no-sell her. I definitely wouldn't just mean to do that. I wasn't really in it. I wasn't in it. I was very out of it. I wasn't myself. So,
Well, I
we
mean,
talked since
Madman
then.
Pondo had a little bit of influence on that, right?
Influence on what?
On selling.
He made a joke and said that, hey, you should, like, go out there and no-sell her. He made a joke, and I didn't do it because he said it. I did it because I wasn't realizing it.
Okay.
And I was so caught up in the moment. I kind of just was realizing what's next, like thinking what's next instead of like selling. So that was definitely my fault, but we've talked since then. Like I said, like our recent match was super good. Just it was whatever, yeah.
Alright. Can you tell us about wrestling Ruby Soho on AEW Dark? What was that experience like, and was you able to take in that moment?
Yes, absolutely. Like I was super nervous because like this was my first time at AEW. Whew, it was like crazy, and it was super fun. They're coming back in November, so hopefully I get another chance with them. But I went there, and Sean Dean told me like, "Hey, you have a match," and I was like, "Yay!" I'm so excited. And he said it was with Ruby, and I was even more excited because I look up to Ruby. I love Ruby, and I've always wanted to have a match with her. So literally, I was super excited, and it was just super easy. I went out, it was like a cakewalk, like she said I did really good. I made her look good. That was the main important part, was making them, look good. And I hope I did her justice. But it was super fun. I respect everybody there, respect Ruby so much. Yeah.
Was anybody coming up to you after the match, like giving you advice from AEW?
Yeah, The only ones that did was Dustin Rhodes and Ruby Soho. Of course,
Okay.
Ruby, but Dustin Rhodes mainly because he was the agent of our match,
Okay.
so he definitely watched it and just gave me some advice. So that was cool.
Alright. Can you tell us you have the date you made your wrestling debut tattooed on your fingers.
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us about what maybe inspired you to get that tattoo?
So my first tattoo is this one on the arm that says "Just keep breathing." And at first I was like, oh, that's probably going to be my only tattoo. I'm not going to get any more. 2 tattoos later. 2 more tattoos. Kind of like, I knew, like, AJ Lee kind of inspired it because, no, she didn't get the date when she first made her hat or match, but she put the date of when she won the Divas title on the back of her neck.
That's right.
Yeah, and that kind of inspired it a little bit. And, of course, when the Riot Squad, when Ruby and Sarah Logan was in WWE, Ruby, Sarah, and Liv did the same thing, but they made it when they debuted on the main roster together as a Riot Squad, I believe. But they had that tattooed on their selves as well. So I just wanted to kind of like do something that would remember one of my most cherished moments in my life was accomplishing my dream by getting in the ring and doing what I love to do. So.
Alright. Was a moment for you dressing as Freddy Krueger for Kaiju Big Battle?
Mhm. That was 2019, I think. I think it was 2019. Yes. It was it wasn't even a Halloween, like it wasn't even October. It was like just a costume show. And I wanted to dress as Freddy Krueger because, you know, that was like the easiest costume I could find. And Alexa Bliss inspired me to do that because it looked really good on her. And I was like, I really want to do that too. And I like horror movies, so it just kind of worked out. I got my friend and referee Aaron Greider booked on that show. And it was me and him on that show. And I was like, could you possibly ref my match? I remember my match was a triple threat with Savannah Stone and this is really bad. I can't remember her name because I know she dressed up like Lady Deadpool. Yes. She dressed up like Lady Deadpool. And that match was super fun. I liked it. There was accidentally, Savannah accidentally broke one of the glasses. One of the glasses with alcohol in it. She accidentally broke it. And we were like, let's get away from that because we don't want to get, like, cut by the glass. But, it was super fun. It was different. It was super fun and different. I love shows like that, so.
Was usually Kaiju Big Battle, they usually give you the costume. That they allowed you to pick what you wanted to do?
Yeah, they allowed me to. They let me pick.
Okay.
I don't know how everybody else is, but I do know they let me pick mine, so.
Okay. Can you tell us, you mentioned you're a horror fan. What's your go-to?
I really like Child's Play and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Interesting choices. I'm assuming you're watching the new Chucky series.
I'm actually not. Not because I don't want to. I really do. But I just haven't had time to sit down and actually just start watching it, you know?
I completely get that. And I mean, that's a really good reason not to watch it, right?
Yeah, but I heard it's really good, so I'm definitely wanting to sit down and watch it sometime.
From what I've heard from the people that I know that watches it, it's they think it's really great. So, and this last season has been they like the first episode out was just bam.
Yeah.
All right. Can you tell us about sharing the ring with Scott Hall?
Yes. 2018. Yeah. 2018. So the only reason I don't share pictures, like when he passed away, why I didn't I shared my condolence to the families, to the friends, to the fans, um, about Scott Hall, but I didn't share a picture of me in the ring with him because somebody that is canceled is in the pictures.
Oh.
And yes, he was. I'll get to him in a second, but sharing the ring with Scott Hall was very chilling. Like, it was so fun. I got DDT by Rebel, I remember. It was super fun. It was just such a good time. He was super sweet. Actually, Ruby Riott, well, at the time she was Ruby Riott, showed up to the show unannounced, just as a surprise, not for the fans, but mainly for like the people backstage. So I was super excited. That was my first time ever meeting her. So that was super, super exciting. But yeah, so I don't mention the guy that was in the ring with me during that time because he abused me mentally, physically, molested me. It was a whole story. So he got canceled in 2020. He basically was the first one to ever start the cancel culture because he was like the first one really like outed, I believe. But after he got outed, I kind of felt more free. And yeah, but it's a whole like story. I can go on and on about it, but
No, I won't let. If you don't, I completely understand, and I apologize. I didn't realize about that.
no, you're okay.
And obviously, it's terrible, but at the end, it is right because he did get canceled.
Yeah.
I mean, you might wanna maybe crop him. There's a lot of great technology out there that just erases people out of pictures.
I can try to do that, yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah. So, and then you get that memory back. But I mean, obviously, Scott Hall, that's awesome that it was that you had, you got to be in the ring with him.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Can you tell us about your novel, Charlie Kruel, Escape from the VHS Hell?
That novel was created by John Cosper. Is it bad that like I read a little bit of it? I'm not a huge reader. I think the only book I ever like fully read and got into was AJ Lee's book, Crazy is My Superpower. And that's just because I'm a huge AJ Lee fan. So that was the reason why I got into that. But I didn't really read my novel very much. But it was super cool to see me in a book and kind of like it has like it's horror movie related. Like there's like without naming names obviously, but like Michael Myers is in it, Jason Voorhees and stuff. Without copyright reasons, they didn't like name them, but they kind of like gave them a different name. But you could tell it's them because how they described them. But super fun, super good. You can still get it on the websites, Eat Sleep Wrestling or something like that. Yeah, something like that. John Cosper will know more about that than I do, but it was a good time.
Alright. Can you tell us about your Raven attire?
So Raven is my favorite from Teen Titans. Teen Titans is one of my favorite shows ever, especially as a kid growing up. And Raven has always been like my favorite. So kind of doing the inspiration for her, and of course my current gear is inspired by Starfire. Kind of like, I don't know, but like I don't know where it's at, but like I had the Raven cape, and I had that Raven cape, and I was gonna wear it to the ring, and then like I moved a lot recently, so I kind of lost it. So I'm probably gonna have to like buy another one. But I absolutely love it. Like, it's awesome.
Now, you just a fan of the TV series, or have you read the comics as well?
I never read the comics. I've only been a fan of the TV series. I should read the comics. That sounds pretty good, but
If I could make a recommendation, anything Jeff Johns Teen Titans is fantastic.
awesome. I'll give it a shot.
What's your favorite episode from the Teen Titans?
Gosh, there's so many. So maybe a few months ago, I started they have it on HBO Max, like the original Teen Titans.
Yep.
Teen Titans Go is good too, but I like the original Teen Titans more. And I watched it from the beginning to the end. My boyfriend at the time, Flash Thompson, actually like found it on HBO Max, because I was telling him, I was like, I want to like watch the series again so bad. He like, here, well, it's on HBO Max, and so he had it, so he pulled it up. It was super fun. But I don't know exactly my favorite episode, because there's so many that I can't think of any right now. I know when like I love when Starfire and Robin finally kiss, but that was in the movie. That wasn't an episode.
Yes, it was.
It was in the episode, or was it?
No, it was in the movie.
It was in the movie, yes. When they finally kissed, it was like super cool. I shipped them when I was younger, so I was like super excited when I seen that at first. Gosh, but I don't know. I don't know favorite episode. I like so many of them.
I remember, for me personally, anything that has Slade in it, I'm a big Deathstroke guy, so obviously. What was the other one? Oh, the Red X episode was always great, and I remember Beast Boy went to work at this restaurant once, and the aliens were abducting the cows.
Oh yeah. There's one where Tara was when they introduced Tara.
Yes.
And at first, like, Raven was kind of weird about her. Like, she didn't trust her and stuff. Like, you kind of had to gain her trust. And then when she finally gained her trust, she was on Slade's side the entire time, kind of thing. Kind of, like, manipulated by him.
The Judas contract.
And, yeah, the saddest episode, I would tell you, is when Tara turned into stone.
Yes.
That was the saddest episode, I would tell you, yes.
I loved how Teen Titans Go did the same thing, but like the more cartoonist version, and it was just hilarious.
Yeah.
Because that is a storyline from the comics, and I read that originally. So it's cool that they gave it justice in the cartoon as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, now you don't have to answer this next one if you don't want to, but
Okay.
you have autism.
Yes.
Can you tell us how that has helped and hindered your career?
So I wasn't diagnosed with autism until I was in high school. I'm not sure when, but in high school, I was like, women and girls and stuff, they're late on ever being like diagnosed with autism. As for boys, they kind of, boys can get diagnosed at young ages and girls kind of get diagnosed at older ages. I wasn't diagnosed till high school. So I always thought something was different about me because I was always put in the special needs classes, but I always thought because I had ADHD, little did I know it was kind of more than that. But I always thought it was kind of weird to constantly be put, have a teacher's aide and stuff to help me because I also with autism, you also kind of deal with social anxiety. So being in classes with people, it wasn't for me. And when I started training, autism never really, the only thing that autism gets in the way of with wrestling is when I'm calling a match and I learn differently. So when calling a match with me, you kind of have to I'm a very visual learner. We have to go step by step and we have to kind of bullet points. And I learned differently. When I was training, we had to tell my trainers hey, my mom told him yeah, hey, she does have autism, so she's going to learn a little different. So I was a late bloomer when it came to learning. It took me over a month to learn how to even bump, as it took other people that week to learn how to bump. It was a late bloomer for me because I don't know, I was just I felt like my autism kind of pushed me back on learning how to do some things. But it also helped me a lot too, because with autism, you're very creative. So that's how I came up with my characters, my Charlie Kruel character, my Hardcore Charles character. I did it all because I'm just very creative. I've always been such a creative person. When I was in school and stuff, I'd never had much friends. I may have had one good friend throughout my childhood, but other than that, I kept to myself all the time. I sat at the lunch tables by myself. I was more of a person as when kids wanted to go outside to play, I kind of wanted to stay in my room most of the times, because that's where I was more comfortable. My comfortable area was my room. So it's the same with wrestling. It's when I'm backstage, unless I'm backstage with people that I have known for a while and I'm comfortable with, I keep to myself and I kind of just stay in my own zone until, of course, it's ready for me to go out there. But yeah, so do I hate that I'm autistic? Not really, because it's a part of me and it's something that I've learned to just deal with myself and kind of handle. But at the same time, it's man, if I wasn't autistic, I could probably call more spots and just remember them, or just I probably would have learned how to bump quicker. It was a bunch of that, but at the same time, I don't regret it, because it's part of me. It's what makes me me. So I'm just be happy with what you have. So.
No, absolutely. I love that answer. That's awesome.
Stop. Sorry, my cat was trying to play with the outlet, and I didn't want her to get shocked. So.
No worries. And you were over the summer. You actually were a motivational speaker for autism at a camp.
Yeah.
How did that come about, and how did that make you feel? Kind of sharing your experiences and maybe helping a few people as well.
So I got a message on Facebook from a girl that has been to wrestling shows and have seen me, and she kind of follows me and stuff. And she just invited me to this camp. people with autism and, disabilities and stuff. And I was absolutely like, I would love to do it. That would be so fun. So I got invited. It was so much fun. It was so much fun to just talk to them and get to know all of them individually and just hear their stories. And a little girl came up to me and said, "Thank you so much for telling your story and your side." She's like, I can't remember what she told me she wanted to be, but she said she wanted to be something. And she said, "I feel like I can't because of my autism." And I talked to her and I told her, like, hey, like, autism isn't going to stop you from doing anything you want to do. Your disability doesn't stop you from anything you want to do. It was just a really good time. It was fun. I had a really good time, so.
Is something you would like to do more
of? Yes, I would love to be a motivational speaker. That would be so fun. That is something I would really like to do. Is just be more of. Is just go to places and be a motivational speaker.
Alright. So you was noticed at Walmart?
I was noticed at Walmart. I went to Walmart in Columbus, Indiana. I went to Columbus, Indiana originally to meet this guy that I was talking to from Facebook dating. He just so happened to be living in Columbus, Indiana. And him and his sister came to pick me up. And before then, they had to go to Walmart. So they went to the Walmart in Columbus, Indiana. And I was walking around, and it was literally right by the alcohol area. That he just recognized me, and I was like, and he got a picture and stuff. So that was just cool. It's just cool to kind of, like, cool to be kind of noticed at places like that, because I'd never been noticed at Walmart before, so that was different.
Well, I mean, it's literally the best experience you could have at a Walmart. There's some more things go on in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask Anakin Murphy in the toy aisle.
Right.
Oh, that does bring us to our next segment. Charlie Kruel's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Like a road story?
Yeah.
A road trip story?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily have to be on the road, but, just an odd, weird, crazy, fun story.
I almost got robbed. So I was in a car heading to Delaware. We stopped at a gas station, 7-Eleven gas station in Maine. And my ADHD ass, and my autistic ass, like, wasn't thinking of what was around me. So I was waiting in line, and I looked behind me, and I saw this cute, fluffy hat. It had, like, ears. It was like an animal hat or whatever. Not made by actual animal hair, but it looked like an animal hat. So I was like, I want it, and it's super cold out. So I was like, I really want it. It's so cuddly. Had the little paws that you kind of stick in your hand, and you can, like, I don't even know where that hat's at anymore, but like I said, I moved so much that I probably lost it somewhere. But anyways, so I got the hat, and I was waiting in line. Finally, it was my turn to check out, and again, I wasn't looking at my surroundings. I pulled out the money to buy the hat. The hat was literally $20-something. It's crazy. But I was so determined to have it that I opened, like, my wallet. I pulled money out, and I looked at my friend at the time. He was like, he noticed it before I did. But there are 3 grown men behind me, looking me up and down, kind of like licking their lips, being kind of suspicious. And I went ahead and paid for the hat. And my friend was like, okay, Charlie, it's time for you. Let's go. We got to get going. And they kind of looked away and just kind of fucked off. But if he wasn't in there, I could have possibly been robbed. So, yes. So I almost got robbed. That was crazy. There was... God, there's been so many times. There's so many road stories, I can't even think.
No worries. But thank you for sharing that one for sure.
Yeah, that was a crazy experience. I'm just so glad that my friends were there to make sure nothing bad happened to me.
Oh, for sure.
Very scary experience. It's not a funny road story, unfortunately.
Doesn't always have to be funny.
Yeah. I've traveled a lot with Shane Mercer over the years. Mickie, I've traveled with. God, traveled with a lot of people. I traveled with Shaggy Eero once. That was fun.
What about Madman Pondo?
Oh yes, absolutely. I've traveled with Pondo plenty of times. Plenty of times.
As long as he's not taking you to eat breakfast at a strip club, I think you're alright.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright. Can you tell us your love of anime?
So, I love anime, for one. My favorite anime is Naruto. I love Demon Slayer. Of course, I'm a Pokemon fan. I love anime in general. I've liked Fairy Tail. That was a good anime. God, I liked so many, but like my love for anime is like I don't know how to explain it, but I have like a collection of my Naruto figures on my wall. I have Naruto stuff everywhere because I'm like a huge Naruto fan. They kind of started my love for anime. I would say Pokemon, but Pokemon at the time, yes, it's considered an anime, but it's also mainly just very cartoonish to be an anime, but it's still considered an anime. But it wasn't until I discovered Naruto that I was like, this is so cool. So I finished Naruto, I finished Shippuden, and I'm trying to be on Boruto. But I have to like continue with Boruto, but
How do you feel
yeah.
about Boruto? Because from my perspective and some of the people I've talked to about it, a lot of the characters are just kind of rehashed of the originals.
Yeah, Boruto gets a lot of hate, and I understand why, kind of, because he's not exactly like Naruto. He kind of, which is good, you have a son with a different personality than his dad. Like, he's not like, I want to be Hokage one day. He's kind of just a bratty kid that doesn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, and that's fine or whatever. But Boruto gets a lot of hate, but from the episodes I've seen so far, I kind of enjoy them. I like Sarada because Sasuke and Sakura are my favorites. Besides Itachi, Itachi's my favorite Naruto character.
You like the heels, is what you're saying.
Yes. But I love Sarada. She's so cute. But yeah, so I definitely have to continue with Boruto, but
I would continue this, but I don't know how much you've seen because I've seen a good chunk of it, so I'm not going to comment on Sarada. But can you tell us about your love of Demon Slayer as well?
So I introduced my friend Maria. Shout out to Maria. She lives in St. Louis. I went to visit her, and she introduced me to Demon Slayer because she's an anime fan too. So she introduced me to Demon Slayer, and I fell in love. I loved it. Like, I love Nezuko is my favorite. I think it's kind of funny too. I'm still getting like used to the names. The only ones I really know is Nezuko and Tanjiro.
Yeah.
Yes, but I find it really funny. It's really different. Um, I love it. I love it. But Naruto's been my favorite. My Naruto, like, to me, like, nothing can surpass Naruto. I have a different connection to Naruto than any other anime, but Demon Slayer is definitely up there.
Well, how far along into Demon Slayer are you?
I have no idea. I need to. I haven't had time to even watch shows or anything recently, so like, I definitely need to get back on it, but I'm not sure exactly where I'm at the moment, so I need to figure that out.
Alright, fair enough. Definitely you wanna get to that entertainment district arc, because that was just amazing. Probably the best battle yet. Alright, can you tell us what's your favorite Pop Tart?
Um, Anything frosted. Uh, I don't like unfrosted Pop Tarts. They're gross. Like, they're just, I don't like them. My favorite Pop Tart, though, I really like the confetti cake Pop Tarts.
Oh yeah.
Hot fudge is really good. The Oreo, frosted cherry. A lot of them are just really good. Like, I don't really like. I get asked on Twitter a lot more than you probably imagine what my favorite Pop Tart is. I never know. I feel bad that I never answer them, but like, I don't know how to answer them because I like all of them. All the flavors individually deserve love. So, I'm a Pop Tart fan.
Have you had the Eagle Waffle Pop Tart yet?
Yes, I have. It's really good.
It's good?
I think it's good. Yeah.
I haven't had it yet, and it's something that I really want to try.
You should. I definitely have bought some before and passed them out to fans. So, yeah. I used them in a match before. I threw them in. I was my Black Label Pro debut in the Rumble. I went in there and I was like throwing Pop Tarts at everyone, and some of them were the Eggo ones. So
One personal favorite of mine is the cinnamon Pop Tart. It has
I do like the cinnamon one. When I was in school, and my mom would take me to school, we would always stop at the gas station so I can get something to like kind of eat because I didn't like the school breakfast. So my mom kind of let me get something at the gas station. I would always pick the cinnamon Pop Tart. The cinnamon Pop Tart, and what else did I usually get? Cinnamon Pop Tart and an energy drink. Not healthy, but it was something.
Hey, whatever got you through, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I think it's time for the colossal question. They're making a movie about Charlie Kruel. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first three songs on the Charlie Kruel wrestling career soundtrack up to this point?
So I'm a huge Ariana Grande fan. Um, Break Free by Ariana Grande.
Okay.
Um, I also like Ash Nico. So Manners by Ashniko, and Bad Girlfriend by Theory of a Dead Man.
Alright. That's a solid 3 right there. Do you lock it in?
Sorry?
Do you lock it in?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, obviously, if there's this big movie being made about you, somebody has to play you. You can't play yourself because you're making that Stan Lee cameo. So who plays Charlie?
Even though, like, does she have to look exactly like me? Because
You can pick whoever you want. It's your movie.
I can't choose between my 2 favorite actresses. Margaret Robbie.
Alright.
I think that'd be solid. She would have to either wear a wig or she would go ahead and dye her hair. It would be solid. I mean, she played really good as Harley Quinn. She's one of my favorite actresses, so definitely her.
And obviously, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people in your movie, and who would play them? I kind of feel Mickie Knuckles has to be one of them, right?
Yes. Who would play as Mickey? This is exciting.
She had suggested Emma Stone.
She suggested Emma Stone?
Yes.
Okay, Emma Stone. Emma Stone it is. Gonna go ahead and put in my friend Isaiah Moore. He would be played by Will Smith. We'll go with Will Smith.
Pre Chris Rock slap or after Matt?
You know what? I don't think he's canceled. I think he can go ahead and like be in it, like after the slap, because you know. And I'm gonna go ahead and put Alice in there as my third. Zendaya Coleman. She's my other favorite actress.
Alright. This is sounding like a real solid movie right now.
Yeah.
You have to get
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, get these pre-orders rolling out.
Yeah.
Alright, on to a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
Ew. Gross. Not into it. Not into it. I like cheese or pepperoni, or I also have tried salami with banana peppers on it. That was pretty good. So
This definitely doesn't sound bad.
it's really good, but I'm not a pineapple on pizza person. I think it's weird, honestly.
Alright. What's your spirit Pokemon?
Eevee. She has different personalities, basically, because she evolves into different kind of whatever. Like she's been Flareon, Vaporeon, Espeon, Umbreon. Like she has a bunch of different like evolutions.
I believe she has like around 6 at this point.
Yeah, so Eevee is my favorite Pokemon. So definitely Eevee.
Alright. Weirdest question you'll be asked in a wrestling interview. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual Rock.
A legit Rock, not Dwayne Johnson?
No, a legit Rock.
Yeah, I can wrestle a Rock. You just gotta lead the match and take the bumps, and I could definitely probably fight a Rock, honestly.
Well, just for context, there's this wrestler named Psycho Mike that wrestled an actual Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match, an Iron Man match that lasted for 2 weeks.
What was the question?
No, I was saying for context, this guy named Psycho Mike, he wrestled an actual Rock for over 15 minutes in an
Oh,
Iron
yeah.
Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
Right, absolutely. That would be funny. That was funny.
And we love Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Thug? THUG.
The acronym for Thug?
Yes.
I have the shirt, too.
Yes, but what's the acronym?
For Thug.
Yes.
I can't cheat.
I mean, if you want to cheat, you can.
I don't know where my shirt is. I have the Tracy's Mother shirt that has it on there.
Would you like me to put it in the chat for you?
Like, what is it? Tell me. I know G is for jail because the Thug can't spell. That's the one I know.
Alright, so T is for terrible, H
Yes.
is for hell, U
Yeah.
is for ugly, and G is for jail, because a Thug can't spell.
There we go. Sorry, I haven't thought of that, but I definitely know the G is for jail thing because the Thug can't spell. So.
Did you have any interactions with Tracy?
Oh yeah, he's been to Grindhouse before. He's always been super nice to me, very helpful, watched my matches and stuff. Gave me great advice. He's always been such a cool, funny guy. I miss him so much.
You know, he seems like, from what I've heard, he sounds like a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any Tracy Smothers stories?
I actually do not, unfortunately. Well, actually, I do. So the same show that I was at before I even started training, it was me and my brother. My brother took me. Before I even started training, I went to this show. It's a Terry Harper show. And Tracy Smothers wrestled Leva Bates. And literally, Leva Bates' family was there. And they tried jumping the guardrails to fight Tracy Smothers. Literally. It was so crazy. But that's definitely one of my most cherished memories. And I also remembered it was a good match. Like, it looked like an easy match. It was so fun.
Right. Can you tell us about that time you ran into Cat Williams?
So, I was walking, in New Jersey, I was at the boardwalk, walking with Del Patricks, Ace Perry, and I think that was it. It was just the three of us. Or there was another guy, but he wasn't a wrestler or anything. He came to the show with me, Akira, and Akira's friend. I can't remember his name though, but he was with us. And all of a sudden, like, we see Cat Williams, and we're like, what? So it was like, everybody was saying like, oh, that's not him, blah blah blah, but like, it was him. Like, the way he talked, acted, like, it was him. We were like, can we get a picture, please? He's like, yeah, absolutely, let's all get in here, whatever. He's super cool. I was starstruck because I remember him on the movie. What was it? What's that movie that he played as a pimp?
I can't remember any movie that he's not playing.
Norbit or something? It was like Norbit?
Oh, possibly.
Norbit. It was something like that. But I remember him off that movie. It was funny. But yeah, it was super fun.
Okay. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully signed. Signed. It's just a really hard question because, like, I wish I could tell the future, but I can't.
Yeah.
But, like, I would like to be signed. That's my goal. That's my dream. If not, make a living off of this, still wrestling. It's just really hard to tell.
Which place specifically would you like? Any place signed, or
I mean, I would be thankful for anywhere, but like I said before in the beginning of the podcast, like WWE has been my dream since I was a kid. AEW would be great too, but they weren't around when I was a kid, so like I was just all about WWE. So, anything really would be fine with me.
Right. Now, what's a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what Charlie Kruel is all about?
What was that?
What's a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what you're all about?
Well, next year, it's confirmed, but it hasn't been posted yet, obviously. In April, I am going to be wrestling Gary J. And that's a match that, no matter if you like me or not, if you like me, if you don't like me, you should come see it. That's definitely like,
Is that
you
going
want
to be
me
for
to go.
WrestleMania weekend?
Yes, absolutely. WrestleMania weekend will be so much fun.
Then I
I'm
will
pumped up
probably
for
be
that.
there. No, continue. Alright, I cut you off.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said I will probably be there.
Oh, that would be awesome. I hope to go this time because for 2 years in a row I haven't been able to go to WrestleMania weekend, week or whatever. First time was COVID.
Yeah.
Second time I didn't have a ride, and it was kind of last minute. I didn't have the ride or money, so yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to go.
Well, what's a match we could see right now, like on YouTube, that, shows who Charlie Kruel is?
My match with Laynie Luck, probably.
Alright, and that's on YouTube, correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll put that in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox. For anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to rewatch it after this interview. Alright, and since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Am I?
Yes.
Yes.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Well, I definitely, even if I could add myself, I'm definitely not the greatest wrestler of all time, so I definitely wouldn't add myself. Greatest wrestler of all time. Jeez. Gosh, that's so many. Eddie Guerrero.
Oh yeah. Worst wrestler.
Worst?
Yes. And you can't
I
say
don't want to get
yourself.
heat.
Huh?
I don't want to get heat.
Would you like the default answer?
I'll go ahead and answer it. Worst wrestler ever. Oh. I wasn't a big fan of Eva Marie when I was younger. But she definitely got better. I will give her that, but still, I'm gonna have to put her at that level.
Well, you didn't need the default answer because that was our default answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice.
You'd be amazed how many people have chosen Eva Marie without prompting.
What was that?
You'd be amazed how many people actually chose Eva Marie without giving them the default answer.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who was your opponent?
Past, present, doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
AJ Lee.
Okay. If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Probably Lita.
That's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
Still alive. Yes. It's not dead. Kayfabe's still around. Like, Kayfabe's definitely, it's not dead.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast.
Yeah.
Squash. Fruit or vegetable?
I've never had squash. So, fruit?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, cool.
New Japan wrestler Taichi, his ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Jeez, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on that one.
A little bit, a lot, happy medium.
Honestly, whatever makes you comfortable. Like, you know?
Yeah.
I show my butt in my gear. I'm comfortable with it and I like it. I'm confident in it. So it's really whatever you want to wear.
Alright. And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
Never have I ever went into a supermarket, found a stranger who probably doesn't even know who Darby Allin is, and just had a conversation with about Darby Allin. Never, ever. Can I ever say that I've ever done that?
And that would be the correct answer.
Yeah.
That will conclude this interview. Thank you so much, Charlie, for coming on and doing this with me.
Absolutely, thank you.
Could you tell us once again where we can find you on social media?
Everything is under Charlie Kruel, or her name's Charlie. If you, like, Twitter and Instagram is her name's Charlie. Facebook, just Charlie Kruel. YouTube, just look up Charlie Kruel Wrestling and it'll pop up stuff. So.
And your merchandise, you have...
I don't have merchandise right now.
Okay.
Well, I do, but, like, I don't have a store yet to be doing that. That's gonna definitely be handled in 2023.
Alright, well, whenever that happens, I can always update the video and put it in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox, with all the rest of your links. No need to throw it into your Google machine. Simply click the link, you will be on that page. You've been listening.
Yeah.
You've been listening to her for a little over an hour. give her a damn follow. And when she gets merchandise, buy a damn shirt.
Absolutely.
And of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. We're on YouTube and Castbox. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for another incredible interview. Follow the show at Wrestling with E on Twitter for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, etc., etc., and on Instagram at Wrestling with E as well. You can follow me at JamesJ993. Of course, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. And follow Scooter at Scooter Dust, the only live alternative commentary for WWE PLEs, with Survivor Series coming up in a couple weeks, and on the Smoking Dragons Twitch stream. Alright, Charlie, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Mm-hmm.
For our very special guest, Charlie Kruel, Calico Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling Wit
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.